Welcome to the Eric Deters Show. As always, we're sponsored by Eric Deters Consulting and Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. We're on all of them. Well, the Hamas hostage releases has been kind of up and down. Like within 15 minutes of the ceasefire, Israelis claim that Hamas has already violated it. They released the little girl, but not her mother. No American hostages were released in the first go-around. Yeah, little girl there was released, but not her mother. So who the hell knows what's going on? But the bottom line is Hamas and the Palestinians continue to play the games. Hamas has also killed, hung out in public some Palestinians who allegedly were cooperating with the Israelis. Obviously, I'm sure plenty of Palestinians see the writing on the wall and are like, well, the hell with you, Hamas, now. But it's going to get worse before it gets better. Derek Chauvin, the guy who went to prison for the death of George Floyd, guess what? He was shanked in prison. I'll bet you it was a black person. Just guessing. You know, some revenge. But who knows? Who knows? Don't know any of the details, but it's serious. Apparently it was a serious wound. Elon Musk is going to go to Israel and Gaza to prove that he's not anti-Semitic. You don't have to prove anything to me, Elon. Palestinian students, 3 of them were shot in Vermont. They didn't get killed. Don't know why. Was this just that happens to be 3 people that were shot? Or were they shot because they're Palestinians? No news yet. 300 migrants, illegal migrants, showed up at the San Diego airport to camp out and live because there's no place else to go. Biden apologized, saying maybe he should have really considered what the Muslim community and Palestinians community were saying about those killed in Gaza. Crazy stuff. This is wild. Your iPhone, iOS 17 update, if your phone's next to somebody else's phone, they can AirDrop automatically and get all your pictures. I turned mine off. You got to go to your settings, general, and turn it off. I did. All right, Matt Gaetz is going to be the speaker at New York Young Republicans. And if you read what this event is and what they're going to hold, I mean, it's uppity, 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 uppity. Trump children apparently took out $22 million in mortgages. That's all 3 of them that bought big homes down in Florida. Why did they take out the mortgages? Did they need the money? Did they want to have the homes for presentation, or was it a tax? Bottom line, they say good old Jared Kushner and Ivanka are going to pay $110,000 a month on their mortgage. Realtors, are their future in jeopardy? Some claim 80% of them are going to quit. Commissions are going to go down to 3%, and there will be chaos. Trump attended the Clemson, South Carolina game to mostly cheers. Sorry, Nikki Haley. Data Analytical Services, DAS, is apparently a program where, through AT&T and the government, they're monitoring our calls. Shock you? Hell no. Disney Corporate Understanding. This kid right here says he charged $30,000 for drugs on his Disney credit card. But Disney forgave him and is keeping him in his employment. Roger Stone called Ron DeSantis' wife the C word. Out of line. Terrible. Celeste Malloy won the Utah race. She's the Republican backed by Trump for Congress against the Democrat. Turkey's central bank. You think our central bank's bad? They're raising rates to 40%. Greyhound stations are disappearing. What's that mean? That means the poor who relied upon Greyhound buses are not going to be able to use them. SBF, yeah, old Sam Bankman-Friedman, is apparently trading fish in jail for haircuts. Folks, I've been in jail for 8 days on my contempt charge in Hamilton County. Food is the commodity. Boomers, this is hysterical. Boomers think you need $124,000 a year to be happy. Seems reasonable. Millennials think you need $526,000 to be happy. Isn't that nuts? Who the hell are these millennials? Macy's parade disruption. A lot of pro-Palestinian folks glued themselves to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade route. Mendham Mayor Christina Glasner is going to run for the U.S. Senate seat that Menendez currently occupies in New Jersey. Trump backs her. Oscar Pistorius has been released. He had apparently a rough time in federal prison, but then he got released to a more favorable place after 13 years. He's out. Niagara, it's not terrorism. Apparently, a couple who had I think it was their Bentley, the gas accelerator kept getting stuck, and they crashed through the barrier. It was apparently an accident, not terrorism. However, I don't change my position. Terrorism is coming to America. The Pentagon is going to start using AI, and they're going to let them kill people without any human control. So they're going to let the AI robots decide who to kill. A Chinese spacecraft crashed into the moon. The question is why and what was on it? I would say it was the COVID virus. Walmart is closed for Christmas. A lot of people are upset about this. Why? They don't need to be open for Christmas. Everybody's ought to be closed for Christmas. Oil, about 1 million barrels is spilled out of the Gulf of Mexico, and they've traced it to a oil pipeline company. Terrible. Murdahl's clerk, the clerk in the court system, has been arrested for wiretapping charges. Crazy. NASA received a laser message in 50 seconds from 10 million miles away. Interesting. And Warren Buffett gave away $870 million in stock this week. But guess what? He still can't tell Berkshire Hathaway to pay the victims of Dr. Durrani. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show, local news sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, there was a shooting at a South Avondale football field, and somebody got sent to the hospital. It never ends, folks. Zachary Reedy, looked right here, has been charged with dog abuse, charged with animal cruelty, kicking dogs, killing dogs, malnutrition dogs. This guy looks familiar. Looks like somebody I know. Samuel Baker arrested in Kansas with his girlfriend for a murder down in Somerset. He's going to be sent back home. Jason Case, 20 years for trafficking fentanyl by Judge Bunning. 3 are wanted for armed robbery in Cincinnati, up in Hamilton. No names have been mentioned yet. And the last of the felony lane gang has been sentenced. Local news, the 114th Thanksgiving Day race went off without a hitch. I hope you went and ran in it. I did not. Boone County school issues. There's a lot of them, and I got some people that give me some information. November 2023 Boone County School Board meeting, accountability report described by school administrator as gobbledygook because they don't tell you anything really, hiding their poor results from the public. 80 open positions for bus driver. School board still refusing up salaries for bus drivers, knowing that is the issue. At a November special meeting, blindsided their Boone County legislators. Matthew Turner, the superintendent for Boone County Schools, hired a lobbyist for $1,000 to moderate an informal meeting that was later posted as a workshop open to the public to set up an adversarial debate unbeknownst to the legislatures until their arrival. That included Senator Schickel on discipline and inappropriate content being taught in schools, Marianne Proctor on RFID cards and new standard goals of only 40% proficient distinguished, Steve Rawlings, Panorama, and Jay Williams, school choice, diversity, and schooling options to include classical education. There's a war going on out there in Boone County, and I stand with the people trying to make it better. All right, what else do we got? Cyber Monday is today. We had Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. What's tomorrow? Red Tuesday. Turfway Park opens their winter meet Wednesday. A woman was followed by a man with a knife over at TQL Stadium, she says. No place is safe in Cincinnati. In Kentucky news, Lisa Payne Jones is going to run for the Court of Appeals. So is Jason Fleming from Christian County, family court judge. Now, this is kind of sad and hysterical. Somebody's been arrested in Jefferson County. Their plan was to kill rich white people to protest the lack of gun control. That sounds like a nice way to do it. I swear, craziness. Again, Jason Fleming is going to run for the Court of Appeals against Lisa Payne Jones for the opening seat. Dr. Anand P. Laji has been suspended. His medical license apparently screwing up surgeries left and right, including a brain surgery. He's from down the Paducah area. They're trying to figure out how to give $73 million to state workers for raises. We'll see what happens. Can you be arrested for stealing your own car? Well, apparently Florence police arrested a guy accused of stealing his own car. It was a big mix-up. Now, here's the problem with the case. I know about this. The issue, I mean, it sounds ridiculous, right? But was the car reported stolen? Did they have probable cause that he stole the car? That's the problem you got to overcome. But it is crazy if you're him, right? In Ohio news, a cheer team called the Monroe's Wee Hornets are auctioning off an AR-15. Whatever works. Ohio deer hunting begins today for 7 days. Long rifle. 1.35 million chicks are being destroyed because of the bird flu. Seems like an overkill. Pun intended. Melissa Powers gave an interview to one of the local television stations, broke down, saying how much she cares about the community, and she needs to stay as prosecutor, and I agree. Melissa Powers all the way. P&G Sittenfeld says he wants his sentencing report date to be delayed till January. 5 died in a terrible Athens County fire. In Indiana news, an Indiana man leaked evidence in the Delphi murders, which led to a suicide and all the defense attorneys withdrawing from the case. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Check out our weekly news. It goes out every Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, this is Eric Deters filling in for Jamie Spindley in my World News. Jamie Spindley has been sent on a mission in Ukraine looking for Ben Duzing. He's going to be back tomorrow. All right, our first story is Oscar Pistorius, the famous Paralympic champion, no legs below the knees, is going to be freed from prison. After 11 years, he was sentenced to 13 for the murder of his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. Claims she was a burglar on Valentine's Day and shot her. It was a bunch of crap. Do you believe it, though? Only 11 years? Sad if you're her family. China demands more clinics after a pneumonia surge. Apparently, there's a pneumonia outbreak in China. Here we go. Here we go. At least 100 people have been abducted by gunmen in Nigeria, Northwest residents have said. Wow. The residents were kidnapped after villages failed to pay a tax imposed on them by the gunmen. In recent years, kidnapping for ransom has become rife in northwestern Nigeria. Jamie, I'm glad we didn't send you to Nigeria. 13 people were missing after a cargo ship sank near one of the Greek islands. The Raptor, which set off from El Dekaila port in Egypt, was sailing to Istanbul in Turkey, sank near Lesbos on Sunday morning. Built in 1984, the Comoros flagship reported a mechanical failure. 8 of the crew were Egyptians, the rest were Syrian and Indian nationals. And Sierra Leone has been placed under a nationwide curfew as armed men broke into a prison, setting inmates free. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. We'll spin. Find Ben. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. Well, the show after Thanksgiving sports weekend, we got lots to cover, so let's get to it. First, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Bengals 16-10. Now, it is true that Jake Browning threw an interception that was at an inopportune time. However, I think the most symbolic play of the game was the second last drive of the Bengals. They got the right tackles out there. A tight end is out there. Jake Browning on 3rd and short drops back, and that right tackle, and that tight end does not block the best defensive player of the Pittsburgh Steelers, T.J. Watt, who hits Browning full speed in a matter of seconds. It's like, what the hell? And then Josh Wentz the Pittsburgh Steelers fire Canada, and for the first time in like 50 games, they make over 400 yards and finish with more yards than their opponent for the first time than forever this year. Why couldn't they have kept Canada one more game? I mean, I don't blame Jake Browning. I don't. I blame the offense, and the defense at times is like, ugh. But we'll see what happens. Of course, Joe Burrow sat on the bench in a very stoic manner. Okay, in other NFL games, the Packers beat the Lions 29-22 to mess up the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving Day. The Cowboys crushed the Commanders 45-10. And folks, Deron Bland, you can't make this up. 5 pick sixes this season. Hell, there's some running backs and wide receivers that haven't scored 5 touchdowns this year. It's insane. And Dak Prescott continues to have good games. 49ers 31, Seahawks 13, Ravens 20, Chargers 10. Tell you right now, the Ravens are my pick to win the AFC. Jags 24, Texans 21, Colts 27, Bucks 20, Falcons 24, Saints 15, Giants 10, Pats 7. What a game. The Pats cannot even beat the lowly Giants. Titans 17, Panthers 10, Rams 37, Cards 14. I can't believe my Cowboys lost to the Cards. Broncos 29, Browns 12. The Browns sucked. And you know what, folks? The Broncos are back. Chiefs 31, Raiders 17. Eagles 37, Bills 34. I tell you right now, I wanted the Eagles to lose, Josh Wentz, and they just keep lucking out. Dolphins 34, Jets 13, and tonight the Bears play the Vikings. In college football, I'm only going to cover the games that mattered. Texas 57, Texas Tech 7, Oregon 31, Oregon State 7. Michigan beat the Buckeyes 30-24, which means that the Buckeyes got a problem. And they're already calling Maurice Clarett, the great running back of the Ohio State Buckeyes in the past, wants Ryan Day to be fired. You got to beat Michigan. He's lost 3 straight games. Kentucky ruins Louisville's season, 38-31, and Stoops is sticking around. Bama 27, Auburn 24, an incredible last-second game. Josh Wentz, when it was 4th and 31, the chances of Auburn winning were 99.9%. So that pass was 1 in 100. Washington 24, Washington State 21. Folks, I'm sorry, but the Pac-10 is not as good as the SEC. And you know what? UK is one of the worst SEC teams. They beat Louisville, who's going to the conference championship in ACC. Florida State 24, Florida 15. Florida gave them a game. Now, granted, Florida State's quarterback wasn't in, but still, Florida gave them a game. The ACC is weak. Georgia 31, Georgia Tech 23. All right, FC Cincinnati beat Philadelphia. FC Cincinnati is in the semifinals. X beat Bryant 100-75 in basketball. North Carolina routed UC in basketball 79-45. NKU defeated Texas A&M Commonwealth in basketball 88-73. UC beat Georgia Tech in basketball 89-54. So blowouts on both ends. UK killed Marshall. Set a record in threes. They shot like 43, made 60% of them. Covington Catholic in the state semifinals, 5A, beat Paducah Tillman 22-14. They're in the finals this coming week with Boyle County. Beechwood lost to Mayfield on a last-second field goal. Cooper beats Highlands. So Cooper is going to the state finals for the first time since 2012. Turfway Park track meet begins on Wednesday. Kansas trounced UC in football. I wonder if they wanted to be in the Big 12. I don't think they did. Texas A&M has hired Dukes Elko, defensive coach. Mississippi State has hired Oklahoma University's Lebby as a coach. Josh Giddey, is he dating a sophomore? He is a starter for the Oklahoma Thunder. Is he dating a sophomore in high school? I guess the real question is she over 18? I hope she's at least over 16, Josh Wentz. Did you see this gash in Tua's arm? It was like, what, chunk taken out of his arm. Bryce James, LeBron James' kid, is transferring yet to another high school. They're looking. Beckham chose pink over objections from all his friends. But apparently pink is caught on in Miami. Ryan Fitzpatrick from his buddies received a helmet with all the players, all the teams' emblems, logos that he's played for. Of course, the Bengals are right there too. He played for everybody. Anthony Edwards, the star guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves, says he wants to be the first NBA player to play in the NFL. Massillon beat Anderson in the semifinals in Ohio State Championship. Angel Reese, the star player of LSU, is not played this weekend down in Bahamas, and nobody's announced. It's obviously something private the coach wants to keep private. Rodgers, the quarterback at Mississippi State, is transferring. Where will he go? Will he go to Kentucky? Dolly Parton came out in a Dallas Cowboys uniform. Some people loved it, some people hated it. I say go Dolly. She did the halftime at the Dallas Cowboys game Thursday. Oscar Sheway had a 30-20 game for the G League in Indiana. Why isn't he playing in the NBA? I don't get this. He's a rebounding machine. And Drew Brees says the reason why he retired is because he cannot lift his right arm, or he would. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry Bulldog Nation, welcome to Pop Culture on Monday, November 27th. We got 36 fun things to cover. It was a long weekend, folks. That's why. First, Ozzy seems to have a cancerous tumor. Does this shock you, Josh Wentz? With all the drugs he's taken, I can't believe this guy is still alive. Dumb and Dumber, this is wild. Jeff Daniels only got paid $50,000. But you know what? It helped launch him a little bit. Guess what Jim Carrey got? $7 million. So who's dumb and who's dumber? All right. Irina Shayk and Emily Ratajkowski were at courtside at a Miami Heat game. Why? To drive all their prospective boyfriends nuts. Unbelievable. Jeff Bezos' yacht puts out 7,000 tons of carbon every year. What's wrong, Jeffrey? Lee Ermey. Great story. Lee Ermey was a great decorated drill sergeant who became an actor. I once had a commercial, Josh Wentz, lined up where he was going. We contacted his agent. We were talking to him, and then he died. But there's a great story out about Lee Ermey's career. Check it out. Aquaman is bombing at the box office. Does this shock you, Josh Wentz?
I didn't even know it was out.
Yeah, I don't care about it. 93-year-old Clint is working on a new movie, and check him out. For the first time ever, I've seen him with a beard. He looks like Santa Claus, doesn't he? Clint's going to work till he dies. Robert Kardashian, when he divorced Kris, according to Kris, cut off all her credit cards, and she said she couldn't even buy a tomato. Who's laughing now, Robert? Suge Knight points to Snoop Dogg in the death of Tupac. You know why? Because Suge is in trouble, and he just wants to stir it all up. This is funny. I ought to save this for world news. The largest kangaroo ever in Australia has been caught. Look at that sucker. That is a kangaroo. I wouldn't want to box him. All right, Rob Reiner says 4 people killed JFK Jr., and he's going to name names. Okay, meathead, give us the names. Beckham chose pink for Miami over everybody's objection, but it's working out well. Good looking at work. Actually, if you're a male good-looking at work, it helps you more than being a good-looking woman. My guess is good-looking women get backlash from the ladies. Giant skeletons have been found in Florida and other places. They date them like 500 years ago. It's kind of spooky. Like they're human skeleton, but they're giants. Freaking crazy, isn't it? All right. Clay Aiken spills the beans. He says staff at American Idol messed around with contestants. Does that shock you, Josh Wentz?
No.
It does not. And now we know who won. Who'd you mess around with, Clay? A solar storm might hit us and wipe out all of our internet. It could happen any day now, Josh Wentz.
Let's go.
It's scary stuff. Susan Sarandon's son, because she's getting all this backlash from her comments about Israel, are asking people to stop posting pictures of her boobs. They say Harry is out of the royal family forevermore because they don't trust him. And speaking of that, apparently Harry and Meghan spend 1 hour a week on their charities. This is the most bozo celebrity couple of all time. What do you think, Josh Wentz? I think it's appropriate. AARP is sponsoring the Rolling Stones 2024 tour. Why not? Mick Jagger's a savvy businessman. All right, boomers think they need $124,000 a year to be happy. Millennials think they need $525,000 a year to be happy. This is nuts. All right, Diddy's been sued again. Everybody's suing Diddy, claiming he abused them. We'll see if Diddy keeps writing checks. They keep getting dismissed as they're filed. The price of Christmas trees is up. Does that shock you, Josh Wentz? Does not. This is funny. People are saying this was an omen that Kelsey is gonna hurt and break Taylor Swift's heart, because during the Kansas City games they lined up Kelsey, Hurts, Swift. The people dream this stuff up. Dolly Parton was all in with her Cowboys halftime with a Dallas Cowboy cheerleading uniform. Kevin Costner just went to Branson's Island. I think he's rebounding well. Godzilla movie. They say it's the best monster movie of all time. Do you like monster movies?
I used to.
I don't. Jack Harlow was a bust at his halftime performance in Detroit. They said they didn't have much production quality on it. Paul McCartney says he regrets not inviting the rest of the Beatles to his wedding to Linda McCartney. What are you thinking, Paul? New York lawyer has sued Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, all of them, saying they secretly taped her in her room, and that's in their offices in her home, to try to get how lawyers work. It sounds insane. Kiss canceled their Canadian tour because Paul Stanley's in bed. Hall and Oates are battling it. Hall filed for restraining order against Oates. We'll see how that all plays out. Wallflowers are going to be playing in Southern Kentucky. I like to get the Wallflowers for the Freedom Fest. They're good. By the way, if you didn't know, Josh Wentz, the lead singer of Wallflowers, is Bob Dylan's son. Sammy Hagar says no, David Lee Roth is not welcome to go on the tour. And Beverly Hills Cop 4 is being made. And Axel Foley will be played by Eddie Murphy. And Machine Gun Kelly, from some backlash, I guess, because guns, says now all he wants to be known as is the Machine. Not Machine Gun Kelly, just Machine. All right, Machine. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.